So 2 exercises here, both breathing orientated. First one is the cat-cow or cat-camel, depending upon which part of the world you come from or what yoga teachings you do follow. So, on all fours here, the cat is tucking the pelvis, so reinforcing that posterior tilt, which we don't really want to do. But it's good to come in and out of these positions. We don't want it to stay here, of course. We want to teach the body, okay, it's safe to come here, and then it's safe to come out. So, big squeeze of the glutes here. This one tends to be easier if we're in posterior pelvic tilt because we're just doing more of it, basically. Nice high back, and then the cow is big dip in the back, looking up. Okay. So, in terms of breathing, we're going to go breathe in on the way up and breathe out on the way down, okay? So we're going to look up to the sky, big breath in. Really squeeze those back muscles. Big squeeze. Go for 4 more. Big squeeze. Big breath in. Now you can do that felt all day yourself. He's the indicator really as to whether we are getting ourselves out of posterior pelvic tilt. Another indicator is our next exercise, but the safest one is this guy, just because we're on the ground. It's very easy to see. Are we getting stuck here? You've took a picture, and then the next day maybe this, then the next day maybe this. And essentially what's happening is, with the rolling out we did in the other videos and releasing of the glutes, and this strengthening of the back and the loosening of, so what you can see here now, my abdomen is, he's long here, whereas the back is getting shorter and contracted. The hamstrings will have released and let the pelvis come up. So all these things are intertwined. Last exercise then. So this is the precursor to the final exercise that if you can, the exercise we would ideally be able to do is the deadlift, the hip hinge, okay? Like this. But with our posterior pelvic tilt, we're left to this. And if I was to lift something up, it's all in the back here. But the minute I go back like this, it's in my hamstrings, okay? The hamstrings take the load. And that's why we get back problems in posterior pelvic tilt, because the hamstrings cannot stabilize the movement. And we can't turn it into a hinge, okay? You can see I'm at a right angle here, glutes doing all the work. The minute I go here, I'm having issues. So a way around this is to do the single leg RDL. So what we want to do is standing on one leg, you can hold on to the wall. I'm not too concerned with balance here, okay? Of course, if you want to challenge yourself, you don't need to hold on. We want to try and keep our knee out to the side and big toe into the ground. Now I'll show you the movement so you know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm gone already. Now, my aim isn't to come down extremely low. It'd be great if you could. But by coming down low, sometimes I have to, you'll see yourself rotate upwards with the other hip, okay? Like this. And what we're doing there then is we're just putting the weight on the hip socket as opposed to making the hamstring get a stretch. Lengthen and the big squeeze of the glutes coming back up. So you can see the more I stay right in the center and put my center of gravity into my big toe, right at the side of the glute, right going up the hamstring. The glute med now has to do work, whereas just like in the posterior pelvic tilt, if we're raising this back hip up like this, the glute med doesn't have to do anything. It's just like the posterior pelvic tilt. We're reducing the space between him and between the femur and the pelvis to make his life easier. It makes it harder in the long run because he can't do his job anymore. But we want to make sure that he's fully lengthened so he can function. So big toe into the ground, weight on the big toe. Now the aim of the game is to try and keep a straight line between your leg and the back. We don't want this, we don't want this, we want just that bit. Just a nice bit of, you want a bit of a squeeze in the glute, okay, and that top leg. You should feel a stretch on the hamstring of the bottom leg. We're going to go for 4 of these, okay? Big breath in. Now if you're not hanging onto the wall, do watch the shoulders as well, that they're not tilting along with. So you want to try and keep the body as stable as possible. And the good thing is you're not going to hurt yourself doing this if you've no weight in the hand. So the rule is if you can feel it in the hamstring or in the glute, you probably feel this in the glute first. If you've posterior pelvic tilt and you've very tight glutes, it more often has to hit the glute first and then the hamstring, okay? So you don't want to be feeling it here, here, and then here. If you start feeling it here, then we know we're making business. Making business. Let's go for the other leg. I can feel a twinge now. I don't know, is that a good thing? Turn off the video or no. Alright, so we'll just, I don't know how much reps I did there. We'll go for 8, alright? Nice solid breather, just breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. Hips level, not tilted like this. And shoulders the same, big toe into the ground, knee coming out to the side. You know the drill. And so the hamstring is getting a lengthening. Now, in a way, we would be strengthening the hamstring, especially if we were to add weight to what we're doing now. But because we're really focusing on the way down, we're focusing on the eccentric part of the muscle, which is when the muscle is lengthening. Now it's still under a contraction, but the more time we spend when it's getting longer, it's going to become longer as a result. We'll go for 2 more. This is in contrast to quickly dropping, then contracting and coming up. Of course we don't want to do that, we want to spend a nice 3, 2, 1, and up. And I believe that is it for your RDLs. That was the first guy we did. The cat camel. Those RDLs are really, they're the king guy. Or girl, depending on which leg you're using. If you can get that safely, then essentially, bit by bit, we can get into the double leg. And once we're in double leg, we're in business.